Analysis of world geopolitics and the balance of real powers. The contemporary geopolitical landscape is a complex web of alliances, economic interests, and power dynamics that often remains hidden behind the facade of nation-states and their leaders. Yanis Varoufakis, a prominent economist and former Greek finance minister, is one of the few voices offering an unbiased perspective on this intricate reality. He suggests that the true power brokers operate behind the scenes, shaping global events and policies through their vast financial resources and influence. This essay explores the interplay of these hidden forces, particularly the roles of the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, and the BRICS nations in the current geopolitical framework. The influence of financial dynasties. The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds are frequently cited as epitomes of financial power and influence. Historically, these families have amassed vast fortunes through banking, oil, and various other industries, which has allowed them to wield significant influence over global politics and economics. For instance, the Rothschild banking dynasty has been instrumental in funding governments and shaping financial systems since the 18th century. Their involvement in the establishment of the Bank of England and their influence in the European financial markets underscore their long-standing impact on global finance. Similarly, the Rockefeller family, with its roots in the oil industry, particularly through Standard Oil, has also played a pivotal role in shaping global economic policies. The Rockefeller Foundation's involvement in various international institutions, including the United Nations and the World Health Organization, highlights the extent of their influence. These families' ability to affect global policies often transcends the visible actions of elected leaders, making them the real power behind the throne. Figureheads of the modern world. World leaders such as Emmanuel Macron, Justin Trudeau, Ursula von der Leyen, Joe Biden, and Rishi Sunak are often perceived as the architects of their nation's destinies. However, their policies and actions frequently reflect the interests of the powerful financial elites who support them. For example, Macron's economic reforms in France, aimed at liberalizing the labor market and reducing public spending, align closely with the neoliberal policies favored by global financial institutions. Similarly, Joe Biden's administration has continued many of the economic policies that benefit Wall Street and large corporations, despite his rhetoric about helping the middle class and working families. The influence of corporate donors and lobbyists in shaping U.S. domestic and foreign policy is well documented, illustrating how elected leaders often act in the interests of their financial backers rather than their constituents. The rise of BRICS and the challenge to hegemony. The emergence of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, represents a significant challenge to the long-standing dominance of the U.S. dollar and Anglo-Saxon geopolitical hegemony. These countries have been working to create alternative financial systems and institutions, such as the New Development Bank, NDB, and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, CRA, to reduce their dependence on Western financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, is another example of how BRICS countries are reshaping global trade and investment patterns. By investing in infrastructure projects across Asia, Africa, and Europe, China is expanding its economic influence and creating new trade routes that bypass traditional Western-controlled channels. This shift in economic power dynamics has the potential to undermine the dominance of the U.S. dollar and weaken the geopolitical influence of Western powers. The real power behind BRICS. Despite the apparent challenge that BRICS poses to Western hegemony, it is essential to recognize that the true power structures remain intact. The same financial elites who influence Western policies are also deeply embedded in the economies of BRICS nations. For instance, the Rothschilds' involvement in the development of modern China is well documented. The family's banking interests have facilitated significant investments and partnerships in China's rapidly growing economy, indicating that the financial oligarchs maintain a vested interest in both sides of the geopolitical equation. Moreover, the integration of BRICS economies into the global financial system means that their success and stability are interlinked with the interests of global financial elites. The rise of BRICS may alter the balance of power on the surface, but the underlying power dynamics remain controlled by the same entities that have historically dominated global finance and politics. Conclusion. The analysis of world geopolitics reveals a landscape where the visible actions of nation-states and their leaders are often directed by the unseen hands of powerful financial dynasties. Yanis Varoufakis' insights into this reality highlight the influence of families like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, whose financial clout allows them to shape global policies and events from behind the scenes. While the rise of BRICS presents a challenge to traditional Western dominance, the true power remains concentrated at the top of the pyramid, controlled by the same financial elites who have long governed the global order. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for comprehending the complexities of contemporary geopolitics and the forces that truly drive global change.